All right, what is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I am here with Rob Westerman. I can't say names. I'll be trying to read them, but he controls the Green Bay Packer Daily all through the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all over the place.
Yes, sir.
Before we get to talking with you, though, before we get on, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about the Packers, a lot of stuff happening in the NFL right now. But Quick Trip has bananas on sale for 29 cents.
Let's go.
29 cents a pound. 29 cents a pound. You can go to Quick Trip, buy every banana they have, and probably it's gonna be like $20. You know what I mean? So head over to Quick Trip. If you're a banana fan, and get yourself some 29 cents a pound. What is up, man? How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for the introduction. I'm pumped to get back at it, talking Packers, get my weekly show back and running after taking the past couple months off. Training camp's here, my man. So we got some stuff to talk about finally. How you doing?
I am good. I haven't been doing a lot of live stuff this off season, but I'm gonna get back into it. But big shout to everyone who's tuning in on Facebook.
Sure.
My guy Phil, he tunes in for every game stream that I did last year, and he'd always remind me to change the scoreboard. But
he's a real MVP right there. Thank you, Phil.
No, for real. Like I'm hammered usually, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the NFL offseason. I'm not like a draft guru. I'm not all those things. So it's cool that training camp is back. There's some stuff that not so good. We're gonna get into it, but I'm gonna be down at training camp tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I got myself a microphone that plugs into my phone. I'm be interviewing random fans and asking about the Packers and asking stupid questions. And I can't wait. But the thing is, it's like a real long microphone I got off Amazon. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. You know how they had that really skinny, long microphone?
Yes, sir.
It kind of feels like that.
Oh, it'll be a good time, I'm sure. I wish I could see you tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to be up there next Friday or next Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I think I should be. I'm going to be like, I took this week vacation, and then after that, I'm going to try to like get in there like when I can. I usually work till noon, so I can still get to training camp. I miss practice
right
on the days I work, but I still kind of go down there sometimes just to hang out with people. There's a lot of Packer people that come from all over the place that I met on social media. And it's cool to meet up with people and just be around it.
I think practice started like 10:30-ish or so. So if you get off at 12, practice might still be going on if they're 2 hours long. Sometimes they're a little short, but you never know. I'm sure you'll have some interesting questions and answers once you're roaming about the parking lots out there.
Yeah, I think it'll be some great content. Any content that I make that doesn't include me is usually the best content.
You're gonna go out there,
you know what I mean?
You're gonna go out there expecting everybody else to be chatting, and they're gonna answer like one word answers, and you're gonna be like sitting there like,
Yeah, dude. That's like when I very first started doing podcasts, and I had like people on, and I'd add like players. I'd have all these lists of questions I had, and sometimes they were short questions, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm out. We're 10 minutes in," and then I just panic.
Oh, I hear you there. Sometimes, yeah. When I first started getting going, I was kind of stage fright or just like, and then eventually you're just chatting with other Packer fans, so it's just chill.
Yeah, just go. It helps if you drink beforehand. You know what I mean? I want to get to some of these questions and topics I asked on Facebook. I asked on Twitter.
Let's do it.
So, what are you most excited about seeing at training camp this week? Besides the pack being back, I'm not sure like what they're asking like players or like what just. But I'll ask you this, like just for training camp, what are you most looking forward to? Whether it just be the experience, the practice, or the players, or whatever it is. What do you got?
So yeah, I went to the OTAs and mini camp early June, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but there wasn't that huge crowd of people and whatnot. So I'll be up there next week, and I'll be up there in 2 weeks. I'm just excited to walk around. Went there last year, and they still had some restrictions and stuff going on, but I feel like now. I'm just excited to see the big crowd back and everybody walking around their Packer stuff and hitting the pro shop way too many times, spending way too much money. So not only just the experience, but just, catching practice and the fact that it's already almost August here. I'm excited for football to be back in less than a month and a half.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. This offseason was way too long. Like for me, going to training camp, I don't even watch all the practices. Like every time I go, I don't, because I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're throwing balls into a net. They're running around, which is cool. Like to see.
Right.
But like, I go there. Like my main thing is just meeting up with everybody, like
Just
getting
hanging
to
out.
yeah, just like the whole
Yeah.
bike thing. Just kind of watching. Usually I go live on Facebook, and Instagram, wherever, and like so
Yep.
people who live far away who never got the chance to like see it, try to
Check
like
it
show
out.
them, like what it actually is and
Hey,
how
so
cool it is.
do you know if they're doing the bike ride again this year? Or are they providing their own bikes? Or how are they doing that? Do you know?
I think they're doing it, but like the
Okay.
last couple of years, the bike thing has got like very, oh excuse me, like commercialized.
Right. They
So
got
now there's
the
like the bikes brought to you by Belen, but which doesn't matter. The kids have fun. It does,
yep.
that's what it's about. But yeah, I believe that they're doing the bikes. It's like I think it's full go because I
So I
think
remember
last
last
year.
year, yeah, they did it last year, but they had like a set of gates, and they had a set of gates on the outside thing on the outside of it. Big B says yes, they are doing the bike thing. That's
All
great.
right, so yeah, I was pretty sure they were, but I never like giving definite answers because I don't know
Yeah.
anything.
I
But
know. I'm
I,
with
I'm
you.
glad Big B is here though because he can help
Yes.
answer
He
some
knows.
questions. We should
He
have
knows
actually
what's going
brought.
on.
We should have had him come on with us.
Hey, Big B, are you free? Because we'll send you the link so you can hop
On the real. But
in.
one thing I want to talk about, maybe
Okay.
you know more than I do because I don't know anything about it. But Sammy Watkins, he's
Yep.
out. He's out on I forget what they call it. It's non-football injury.
Right.
Like, do we know what that injury is? Like, or do we know like at
Uh,
all what happened?
so I just pulled it up on Twitter here. Rob Domofsky says, while Packers wide receiver Sammy Watkins will start camp on the non-football injury list, there's no cause for long-term concern at this point. Expectation is that he will return sooner than later. So that's good news if I know it. So
Yeah, I actually did just see that by Rob Dvalski.
yeah,
I still don't know what that means. I think it means
I
like
don't either.
it's not something terrible. Like he didn't break his leg in half, and like
No,
we know for sure it's done. Like something happened. Maybe they just don't want to. I don't understand because like before training camp, they could put people on these lists that aren't
yep,
actually like really hurt her. It could just be
right.
like we're gonna have some other spots we can try out this guy. Like you don't know if it's like a big thing or if it's like a small like doesn't even matter thing. You know what I mean? Because
He has like
training
the
camp ain't
flu or
even started
something,
yet.
if he's got the
Yeah,
flu or something, or yeah, if he's got some serious thing going on where we obviously don't know about. So I don't know. I was a little discouraged to see that. I saw the Julio thing, and then I saw the Sammy Watkins thing. I don't really care one way or the other about Julio. I think I was surprised to even hear our name in there. I kind of thought we were set with our receivers that we have right now and just kind of seeing what they could do. But to see our name in there that we were interested, I think I saw someone tweet earlier the always involved or whatever, or always in the hunt for a player and never actually
yeah.
get them. But then the Sammy Watkins thing came out, and I was like, well, shoot, like maybe
Well,
we
yeah,
should have got him.
it's definitely like worth concerning about. But like the whole
Yeah.
thing with Julio, and then I want to get to that last comment.
Yep.
The thing with Julio, like if we'd have got Julio, I'd have been happy. I'd have been like, oh sweet, all right,
Yeah.
good thing, and let's roll. But they
Yes, sir.
didn't, and like I don't get the whole trying to be really aggressive for an older player. You don't know exactly what he's going to do. He didn't do he's not Julio Jones from like years past. You know what I mean?
No, not
He,
from
he
Atlanta.
can help a team. He can definitely help a team. He's going to help the Bucks.
Oh
But
yeah.
like, I wouldn't like be so aggressive or like we're just throwing. People just want the package. Just throw money. Just throw money. Keep throwing money at
Right.
just because like the name. It, who knows?
Yeah.
The
And he
Bucks
always
do go after
competes too.
guys. They get guys.
Yeah, they do. No, and I feel like Julio. I think gosh, how many games did he miss over the past few seasons? Like way too many. Last year, he didn't even have a touchdown. I don't think. So it's like I don't know. The name is kind of like that Calvin Johnson thing. Like Calvin Johnson, yeah, he's a stud, and he always, always will be. But Julio, I felt like I put him in that category up until a few years ago when he left Atlanta. I'm like, well, he's probably still good. Then he went to the Titans, and he's like, didn't really do much there, and then he was hurt. And it's like, well, maybe he is getting older. He's 33, I think. So, but that's crazy to think. Devontae's 29 and he's 33, and like they're on completely just that 4-year difference is like a completely opposite end of the spectrum type performance and staying healthy and whatnot. So
Yeah. So going back to that. I got like a fruit fly in here. I should clean up my beer more often. But so what are you thinking about this wide receiver room? Like we got the rookies. Like if you had to pick between the two rookies, who do you think is going to have the most impact?
Well, I was listening. I'm not sure if Big B's still on here, but I was listening to the Underage podcast this morning when they had Andy Herman on. I think they dropped it today. Either way, I listened to it today. And Andy was talking about how, I mean, Christian Watson, I feel like he's going to get more opportunities right away because for him in his, like, after the catch ability, once you get the ball in his hands, it's not like he has to learn the playbook a whole ton to really just get the ball and take off. So it's like, I feel like he'll get more opportunities right off the get-go. And then, yeah, Romeo, I'm not sure if Samori Toure is going to make the roster, but if he does, maybe he makes some noise on special teams. And for the rest of those guys, like on the show this morning I was listening to, it's like, well, you got to kind of play in the background and prove you know it, and then kind of have one of those things like with Lazard. Rodgers was like, hey, like, get that guy out here. He deserves a play. But outside of Watson, I think those other guys are going to have to kind of rely on that as far as making sure Rodgers trusts him, and then Rodgers going to have to not stick his arm out for him, but just kind of, reassure the coaching staff and say, hey, you know what? These guys might be ready to play if you want to throw them in there. But no, that's kind of where I'm at with Watson. I think he's going to be the only one to really get those opportunities to start, barring any injuries. We got Sammy Watkins already on the non-injured list. Who knows how long that's going to last? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as the two rookies. I don't know how you're feeling. What do you think?
I don't actually know because I don't really watch college, but like a lot of people are saying that is it, I think it's pronounced Dobbs. I always feel like I'm saying everyone's name wrong, but
Yep.
a lot of people are saying that he's more like NFL. Like right now, he can make an impact, and
Yeah.
Watkins is more of a, or Watson is more of a
Mm-hmm.
like long term. Like he could absolutely be a baller. Like I don't
Right.
know because like I'm not a big college guy. I'm not a scout, but I think between if one of those guys or even if but like to me like it doesn't matter because I think they're gonna spread it around no matter
Right.
who it is.
Yeah. You don't
The
need a wide
ball is gonna
receiver
get
one in this
spread around.
offense, you know?
Yeah, they're going.
Right.
There's not gonna be a number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
There's gonna
That's-
be like what Matt LaFleur's offense is meant to be is to
Yeah.
like just run the ball and like trickle it down the field, throw it to whoever's open. And like
Right.
when Devontae's been hurt, they've done that and they've been successful. I
And it's
don't
been
think
fun to
that they're gonna
watch
do it
all
every
that,
week, but yeah, I think that they're all right. I think that they're gonna be all right.
No, I think they're good too. It just stinks. Like I think they'll be just fine on offense, but when it's 3rd and 12 and it's crunch time, we need that first down. It's like, yeah, the scheme is a scheme and it's a really good one, and it does designs for players to get open and receivers to get open. But it's like sometimes that Rodgers Devontae connection where it's like, you know what, we need to run this route. It's me and you. We either get it or we don't. And obviously, most of the time they did get it, and that's I think when we'll notice his absence more than ever is like those gotta get it downs, and they know you're throwing. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Maybe we'll see Aaron Jones out there a little bit more. I feel like he's the sleeper like in the NFL
Yeah.
this year, like fantasy wise. Like I don't know.
I absolutely think that. Like, I remember making a video. I was talking about this before. I made a video like a lot of years ago, like when I first started doing Packer crap, and Aaron Jones caught a ball in the end zone, and I remember yelling, "He can catch! He can catch!" It might have been his rookie year. I don't know what it was, like second year, whatever. But I remember making that
Was
video,
it against the Raiders?
and like he commented on it. It was like, "Hell yeah, I can," or whatever he said. And then
That's sweet.
But like that is like true because like that was the day I realized they're like I know it, but like he can catch, like he can run routes. Aaron Jones, like I'm not saying they're gonna put him at wide receiver, but they can move him around. They can do whatever they want. Like Aaron Jones can do it. Like they could put AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones both in the backfield. Move guys around, do whatever. Like I don't know that it's not Madden, so you can't just do all types of wild stuff and it works on video games. But I think Matt LaFleur is a good coach. He's gonna put guys in good situations. I think the offense is going to be all right, and the defense is just going to be so good.
That's what I'm most excited about, brother. Like, defense is going to be nasty. Like, we don't have to worry about giving up a touchdown or going match for match, which I don't think we had necessarily the last like year or two, like it was, 4, 5, 6 years ago when it was like, well, Every time they get the ball
Yeah.
in the game, it's a touchdown, and we better receive because if we don't get ahead, we're always going to play from behind. But that defense is going to be nasty. Let's hear. Who's a guy that we're not necessarily talking about on defense? Like not me and you, but just like Packer Nation, like overall, or kind of Packers sphere. Like who's somebody that's not getting talked about, but you think is going to have a good season?
Like for me, I don't know. We could I don't know because like I feel like all the guys that I would say that people are talking about him.
As I said, I
Like you
think
think about Campbell, like obviously they're talking about him from last year, but I
yeah,
think it's gonna be interesting to see how him and the cornerback, what's his name? I'm,
Razul.
I'm yeah, Rasul Douglas.
Yeah,
Guys like those two guys, like what are they gonna do after what they did last year? 'Cause obviously last year
right.
they came in, Packers looked like geniuses, brought them in, they made
Mm-hmm.
big impact. What can they do their second year now that like Campbell? I believe he got paid. I'm not sure if they both got paid big, but like
Yeah, Rasul's was pretty good. Obviously Devondre's was like 5-year 50 something million, but like you said, I think everybody is getting talked about. You got Savage and Amos back there. You got obviously Jair, Razul, Stokes, and obviously Rashawn and Devondre, and then Quay Walker, and even Kenny Clark, Preston, Jerron Reed, TJ Slayton. Like everyone's getting
yeah,
talked about. Maybe not necessarily Big B's in here, TJ Slayton. Yeah, TJ Slayton, I feel like hasn't really got talked about. Jerron Reed, I feel like is going to be a huge addition. That those are the only really couple of guys that haven't gotten talked about. Maybe Preston. Rashawn's been such a
I talk
beast.
about Preston a lot.
Like I know you do. You're Preston's number one guy. I feel like sometimes Rashawn, like people are so excited for him that it's like, hey, we got Preston on the other side. Don't forget because
Dude, I really do feel like Preston Smith doesn't get the respect he
yeah,
deserves. I mean, from me, he does like, and Rashawn Gary's gonna be so good
yeah,
this year. Like, I think Rashawn Gary's gonna be one of the best players at his position. And I'm
yep,
not saying the very best, but who knows? But I think he's gonna have a huge year. Like, he's so competitive. He's so like, anytime you like hear him talk and like see him practice and like the few
he's
words that I
wants to
got to have
win.
with him, he's like so dedicated to like being the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like Preston Smith, like before last season, a lot of people had a lot of not so great things to say about him. He
I get
came
it.
back, did his thing. I think this year, I think it's going to be a good year for like everyone because not one player has to do it all on
Right.
defense. Like
No.
they have such like they don't really have a weakness that it's like a glaring weakness. Like there's no position we're like, oh, all they gotta do is do that. Like, in years past, like
Right.
just run the ball or just do this. Like there's nothing the offense can do repetitively. Is that a word? All right. That is gonna like just destroy this defense. This defense
Right.
looks set up. We'll see like how they do, but they're on paper
They're
they're
damn good.
looking pretty scary.
They're damn good. I was listening to someone the other day. Gosh, forgive me if they were watching, and I think it was either Peter Bukowski and Ben Fennell, or it was Herman and Ben Fennell. But they were talking about. I think Ben Fennell was the one to say it, that this team, like overall, like offense, defense, special teams, it may not. I think defense is better than last year. Don't get me wrong there, but they're a more balanced team. Granted, the special teams comes up a little bit, at least plays average. Offense might not be as good as last year. The defense is probably going to be better than last year, and special teams is going to be a little bit better than last year. There's no way they could be worse. So to have a balanced team, I feel like that gives us a better chance when we're playing those stud teams in the playoffs. Where if the offense doesn't go, the defense did go last year, and the special teams didn't. And if the special teams did average during that game, we would have won, and that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like they're more balanced, and hopefully it plays out differently for us this year. I'm pretty confident it will. I don't know how you're feeling.
No, the special teams. I saw someone talking about today. They were going through like some team, like this team's special teams is way better than the Packers and this and that. But like you don't know what the special teams is going to be. They're not going to be what they were last year. They
Yeah,
got the guy. Like everyone was saying, if they can get this guy, like he's the best in the business. He's going to be a head coach. Maybe could have been last year if he'd have held out for it instead of
yep,
taking the Packers job. I feel like he's going to change like everything because it's not like they don't have players. They got people to
right.
put in. I'm not sure if they'd put the best people available last year or I don't know. I'm not no special teams coordinator. Like I rarely pay attention to who's on the field special teams. I ain't gonna lie. Besides, like if you're punting or whatever, who's returning? Like I'm not looking at like who is playing the edge on a field
the
goal.
ball.
Yeah, like I'm really not. First of all, usually that's when I'm it's time to get a beer. That's like but I pay
You don't got the
attention
mini
like
fridge set up right
field
next to
goals.
you.
You know what I mean? But like I'm not really paying attention all that much. So, but I think that he'll put him in better position because it's just like when you're like the Lions, like a trash team, and you hire a new coach and you want them to like change the culture. I think that special teams needs to change the culture a little bit because I remember when Devin Hester was doing his thing, and I remember like all the interviews from the Bears special teams players is like, we know this dude can take it to the house at any moment. So we're gonna block to our very, very best, even if the ball is not biased, because we never know if it's gonna come back. And that's the kind of mentality that you need. Even like when Desmond Howard back in the day, I remember all the interviews back then, that Super Bowl year. And Desmond Howard, first of all, he was so funny. I mean, that's what I remember from those interviews, those press conferences. He was just so funny. Like he'd always be cracking jokes. But like when you have a guy that can do something, and the Packers, I don't know like how the return game's going to be because I'm not asking for miracles. We don't need to have Devin Hester type of player. Just have players out there who don't give the ball to the other team.
I was going to say, we just get somebody back who can catch, fair catch it, and that's all. We don't need special teams touchdowns left and right. I mean, defense can force turnovers, offense can move the ball down the field. We don't need, you know what I mean? Like, so we just need competent special teams, and that's all I'm hoping for. And like you said with the culture thing, I know I'm laughing.
Let me look. Hang on, B. I don't mean to cut you off, but this comment is great from Albert Taylor. He comments on Facebook, "You dumbass is back now. We back, baby. We back in it." First of all, I didn't leave. Now. I just wasn't making as many lives, but I appreciate you, Albert, tuning in. Even though you're obviously not a big fan, you know what I mean?
That's all right. I saw one earlier too. I want to chat. John Padmore, I doubt it, Rob. You have Sharon the Choker. That I was looking at you when I started laughing, but I was actually laughing at that comment because it was hilarious.
So,
what do we got here?
Back to football talk. All right, Mark Deaton, big shout out. Thanks for tuning in. He comments. He said, "Think about Watson or Dobbs." First of all, am I saying is it Dobbs? I'm not sure how to say his name for sure. If I'm saying it right. I hate saying names wrong. Yeah, anyway.
I think it is Dobbs.
I think I've heard people say Dobbs, but yeah, I definitely make sure I'm saying it right. I don't look like an idiot. Now I stopped everything and asked, and now I look like an even bigger idiot.
No, I think it's Dobbs.
But you got Watson or Dobbs back there returning kicks. Like I'm not sure. Like you have to know. Like, did they do that in college? Is that because having a rookie back there could spice things up in a way you don't want sometimes too.
Yeah, that's like. I know Watson.
Obviously, like in training camp, that's where they'll figure these things out. Can they do it? Can they be consistent with it? Because they're young, they got speed. That's kind of like who you want back there. Oh, look at Big B helping me out here. He says that is correct. See, if I want to second guess myself, I wouldn't look so stupid. But
get on here, come on, man, let's go. Like no, but that's how it is. I feel like last year I was so pumped for Cobb to go back for that punt return. After Amari was doing so bad and then he muffs it, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, not Cobb. It's not even the players that are back there. It's like what you were saying, the blocking with Hester thing. It's just like the aurora of the special teams. Everybody's out there, like, not scared, but just like, well, shoot, like, I don't want to be the one in the highlight this time, getting chewed out because I know it's probably going to be bad. Well, shoot, if we could just have competent special teams, we need the culture change. I think Richard Bisaccia, from what I've seen on Twitter and what people covering the team, seems like he's a pretty fiery guy, and he's pulling out some old school drills with tennis balls and stuff. Maybe anything to get their mind off of like screwing up, I feel like is a good thing. So,
all right, so I want to give a shout out right here to Bobby Carter. He's a 49ers fan.
Let's go, Bobby.
And he's watching. But Bobby, I got some things to say about your 49ers. I was saying this earlier. And I mean this with all respect, because if you're a real, I've seen your name before, so this ain't hate. I don't think the Niners are going to make the playoffs. I think there's a chance they might not make the playoffs. They are going to start the young guy. What's his face?
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Lance. Dude, I'm so bad at names. But like having a young quarterback, right? Because Garoppolo, like his job was just don't screw it up. They have a good good team around him. That's a good football team. So like, just don't screw it up. So if you got to think that the young kid's going to struggle a little bit at first, and maybe he doesn't. If he doesn't, then the Niners are just going to go off and they're going to have a good year. But
he's
like,
gonna struggle.
yeah,
Kidding.
like he's gonna. I think he's gonna, because like with rookies, or he's not a rookie, but with young guys, you just don't know. Being a second year guy helps because he probably watched and he saw some stuff. Right. But like, and I don't know a ton about him.
They got a good old line. He can dump it off to Debo. Like,
whew. Yeah, they have a good team. But like, I'm gonna talk a little bit of trash. I got to do it.
You have to. So the thing is they played the Bears week 1.
I think that you'll know though pretty quick. The Bears ain't gonna be a test for nobody. The Bears they're trash. They are so horrible. But
trash.
Yeah. So look, let's see like what Bobby said here. He goes, of course he's going to struggle. It's his first year as starting quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying it like in a bad way, because he could end up being something whenever. But like, if he does struggle, they're going to lose a lot of close games, because that's what young quarterbacks do. It's not saying that he's trash forever, but I think they'll struggle, especially early on. Maybe lose a game or two that they probably shouldn't lose.
Right.
And then that's just how it goes. That's why when everyone's freaking out about Jordan Love, I said, like, you don't know. You don't know. Like,
I feel like Trey Lance's situation is kind of similar to Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. I think he played like one game, maybe his rookie year. And then he came his sophomore year and just balled out. So maybe Trey Lance could do something like that. I guess
he absolutely could. First of all, he could. I could be wrong, and he could just, ball out. Like, he could just go out and, throw for 4,000 yards and just have a really good first year. Right. A lot of quarterbacks do. Like, even the rookie quarterbacks come out and are good. And with the Niners, you really don't have to be. The thing that what I talk about is turnovers. Right. Because the Niners are a good team around them. So if you don't turn the ball over, the Niners are probably going to do all right. I mean, that's with like any team. Like, that's why the Packers are always good. It's not because Aaron Rodgers throws all these yards, touchdown. He doesn't give the ball away. Yeah, that's why when a running back fumbles, everyone loses their mind, because that's what the Packers do. Yeah, we don't give away series. Like, if you give a team like 2 extra series a game, like, it's hard to win that game, especially when it gets to even more.
Yeah, like the 49ers in the playoffs, Mercedes Lewis fumbles. I think the last fumble that he lost was in 2013. It's like things that never happen always seem to happen at the most. Like,
that's how it is for the Packers. But Bobby says Trey has been looking great. I'm telling you right now, the 49ers will be a problem this year. And you could be right. And I think that they'll be a problem no matter what. But the point that I was making is, are they going to win close games or lose close games? Because that's kind of what pushes you over to be like, well, yeah, obviously.
I promise we will make the playoffs. Ooh.
I don't know. Let's hear your 7 playoff teams, Matt, since there are 7 now.
My 7 playoffs.
No order.
Like, off the top of my head, like what I'm thinking, it's going to be, and I wish I had the NFC North in front of me, or the NFC right in front of me. But I obviously think the Packers, no one else from the NFC North.
No, absolutely not.
The Rams, like, first of all, let me bring this up real quick. Let me try to bring this up.
No, you're good. So I got some stuff to pull up too. Let me throw out my 7 for you.
Yeah, you go first.
So I got them up in front of me just in case, just so I don't forget anybody. Packers, obviously. I listen to Andy Herman's podcast in the mornings. When I hop in the shower, I play it, and I get one little thing out of the way in the mornings, which is perfect. But he always says, like, we're going to be in the playoff. We're a top 7 team in the NFC. Unless something catastrophically goes wrong, then we're going to be in the playoffs. So obviously, we're going to make the playoffs. Not sure if we'll be a 1 seed. Honestly, I don't know if I'm hoping to be 1 or not. I'm cool with any seed. I really don't care. So that's 1, Packers. 2, I think the Eagles are going to make it this year. They got A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith is in his 2nd year. Buccaneers, I think those are kind of an obvious. Rams, same with them. So I got Packers, Eagles, Buccaneers, Rams. That's 4. I need 3 more. This is kind of where it gets tough. I feel like between, you got the NFC West. Are they going to beat each other up? Or, 49ers, Cardinals, and Cowboys, are those my last three? I don't know if I see three teams from the NFC West getting in, but that could very well, happen last year.
It could. That could happen. If the Niners have a year, the Cardinals, I think that they're gonna have a year. The Rams obviously are gonna have a year. The Saints might pop up. Like
the Saints, dude.
Yeah, like people are high in the Saints. I don't know it, but I know a lot of people are saying
the Cowboys.
All right, so here's mine. All right,
let's hear it.
You got the Packers. All right, no one else in NFC North. And then the NFC South. You say the Bucks are obviously going to be there.
Yep.
The Saints might be. The
Panthers. They could be with Jameis Winston. Yeah.
But for definitely, I think the real question is the NFC West, because the Seahawks, I don't think the Seahawks are going to do anything, but who knows? They might want to run in. No, they're not doing anything. Yeah. I don't know. I've been drinking. All right. I want to edit that. Seahawks ain't doing anything. They're basically the Bears. No, but the Rams obviously are going to be in this thing if Trey Lance can not. I think that there's a chance that, like what I said before, the Niners ain't making the playoffs. I think they're probably going to, now that I'm looking at the NFC divisions.
And that's what I'm thinking too.
There's not more than one team coming out of the East. Yeah. It's going to be whoever wins the division. You assume that's going to be the Cowboys, but I never assume when it comes to the Cowboys, because they always find. I mean, I don't know that they can find a way to.
They always look decent on paper, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, their defense isn't that great. Dak's not playing.
Who is the Eagles? Did the Eagles do anything crazy this year?
Well, they got AJ Brown from the Titans. So
I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
I don't think so. I don't know either. Like the running backs, I think, are Miles Sanders. I don't know.
So I think the Packers are going to come out of the North. You're going to have, I think probably the Cowboys, maybe Arizona, and I don't know. I think it's going to be the Rams and the Niners probably.
Yep.
And then obviously the Bucks. I don't even know what number I'm at. But yeah, I think it's gonna be tough for those last couple spots. Those last couple spots, I think it is gonna be tough. Like it's hard to say like before training camp. Like you never know. Like there's always a few teams that pop off that you don't expect, and teams that you think are gonna ball out. Ball off.
What about the Commanders? Like they got Carson Wentz, Terry McLaurin.
Maybe they
got Gibson back there.
I mean, I don't think that they're going to do anything like crazy, like where you're like, oh, watch out for this team. But maybe they challenge the Cowboys better than we think. Because when you have a team that's like kind of like that you got a new quarterback, a lot of times that lifts you up enough to like give you confidence. Like
I think they got
the Rams. I mean, the Rams are good without.
I don't know. I saw this thing the other day. They're like Kirk Cousins. If he's on the Rams, he still leads them to a Super Bowl.
I'm looking at these comments over here. People are going wild. People are going wild.
So Mark has the Vikings as wild cards making his list. They got a good offensive skill set, guys.
Let me bring that up here. Look, Mark he's got the Packers, Bucks, Rams, Cowboys division winners. And you got the Cardinals, Eagles, and Vikings as wild cards. Dude, I don't.
So I don't 49ers, no Cardinals. Oh, wait, you got Cardinals. That's my bad.
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings are going to be as good as some people think. Or maybe like I'm just so wrong because I'm such a hater when it comes to the Vikings. that I'm blinded by my own bias. But I absolutely think that the Vikings are not going to be that good. Like they have a great running back. Like they actually have like not a horrible
good team. Core. Let's try and change your mind here. They got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. That's probably one of the better duos.
Yep.
They got Irv Smith Jr. as a tight end. He was hurt last year. If he's healthy, who knows? He could be solid. Obviously, Dalvin Cook, I'd say, is top 5 for sure running back in the league when healthy. Obviously, is a key thing. Kirk Cousins, as long as he's getting them the ball, who knows what their defense is going to look like? But I don't know. I said this earlier on Twitter. I said Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith are going to have more sacks and pressures than Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary, or just all of them together, are going to have as many, if not more, than any team in the league. I think
That's a
this
stud
defense is
duo.
going to get at the quarterback. Yeah.
And with the cornerbacks, having good coverage, and the DBs having good coverage, like that's only going to make it better. Vice versa too, like the pressure on the quarterback is going to make the DBs better. I feel like it's a perfect like pair to really have. And then you got Devondre in the middle, Quay Walker, Kenny Clark. I don't know, man. I'm just excited for this defense.
Dude,
that clip? Like,
I am so jacked for this defense. But like
right?
when it goes to the Vikings, I see people in the comments tell me like how great they're going to be. I get it, but the thing is, like, you could give me like $5,000 and say go into a Vegas casino, and most people can win. You got all this money, you can gamble. That's kind of, and I wouldn't because I suck and I would lose it all like in 20 minutes. That's kind of how I feel like the Vikings are. Doesn't matter how good their team is. They were good in '98 too. Like there's some kind of jinx, some kind of hex that just lays over that state. Yeah. And it just doesn't let them. Like they get so close. 1998, they had the most points scored than any team in NFL history at that point, and they still couldn't. Like the 70s, those defenses that they had. They've had Adrian Peterson. They had like all these guys
Randy
you could
Moss,
list.
Chris Carter, like all these guys.
Yeah, Randy Moss, Chris Carter on the same team. I mean,
they
Chris Carter
had one of the best receivers
there,
of all time, one of the best running backs of all time. They wasted their primes. They wasted their careers.
Yeah. You hate to see it.
You just absolutely hate to see it. And that's the thing, like, I don't know. I feel like I saw this the other day. I saw the best winning percentages without having won a Super Bowl, and the Vikings were on the top of that list. And it's just like, you know what? They can't win the big game. They can't perform when you need to. Like Kirk Cousins just, there's 2 minutes left in the game. He's throwing 5-yard outs. And maybe it's coaching, maybe it's him, maybe it's both. But I absolutely love watching it. That's for sure.
Dude, I love nothing more than to see the Vikings die off just because they're fans that I argue with.
Like, I've always told everybody, like, I dislike the Vikings way more than I do the Bears or Lions. Lions, obvious reason, don't really care. The Bears fans, like, we can appreciate the Bears fans.
I could respect them. I'm not sure I
respect them a little bit. Like, George Halas saved us, back in the day.
There's a whole. I love the rivalry.
They have history, whereas like the Vikings, like the whole injury thing with Rodgers, obviously, and they claim that they're super good and just have bad luck in the play. Like no, I absolutely hate the Vikings. My family's from across Wisconsin. I'm down here in Iowa right now. A lot of Vikings fans around here, more so even than Bears fans. So it's mainly Vikings country down here. And yeah, they think they're going to be super good every year, and it's annoying. They end up not being so.
Yeah, the Vikings suck. We've declared that. So let's move on to another topic here.
Let's do it.
So the draft potentially is coming to Green Bay.
I see that a couple years maybe.
So Scott says, logically, what do you think it will be like? How far away will people be shuttled from? Like, I don't know. You're talking about like fans? I'm sure fans would come from all over, like to go to the draft.
Just like training camp.
Yeah, just like training camp, just like anything that they put on. They put on a soccer game at Lambeau Field, and that thing filled up. That was a wild scene.
I feel like it's a good excuse for like other fans to come check out Lambeau, because I know for the most part it is appreciated as far as like Lambeau Field goes and the Aurora about it and the history and whatnot. So
that's the thing I want to talk about real quick before we move on from this. There was when AJ Dillon was at, they were shooting a commercial or whatever. I'm going the other way. Not what you're talking about. But he was shooting a commercial. Lambeau Field tour came by, so he came out there and said what's up to people on the tour. And I see a lot of people in the comments talking about they didn't even know who he was. Green Bay fans don't even know who he is. First of all, if you go on a random Packer tour, there's a good chance you're going to be on a tour with people who aren't even Packer fans.
That's how it works.
Yeah, people come from all over, or they're in Green Bay for a wedding. And they're like, I'm going to do the Lambeau tour because it's Lambeau Field. Why wouldn't I? But a lot of people who are on these tours aren't like diehard Packer fans. They're like just someone in town or someone's grandma who's never been to one or whatever. Like not everyone is like a diehard Packer fan. Like I felt like people were like
tour guides there telling you all about it.
Yeah, like I think that some people maybe aren't even football fans, but like why would like if I lived in a state with like a different team, I might go to the team. Probably not.
So I went to
I hate everybody.
Minneapolis. I went to Minneapolis like 3-4 years ago, and it was right when US Bank like opened, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, might have been. And I toured their stadium, and I had a Packer sweatshirt on or whatever. But I toured it because I was like, I just want to check it out. Like it's $15. Like why not?
Yeah.
And it was pretty damn sweet walking through there, and they actually took you through the locker room and stuff, and like took you down, took you in a lot of places that they don't in Lambeau. And I thought it was sweet. I hate, I don't like the team that plays there. I did learn that the Minnesota Gophers baseball team plays more home games at US Bank than the Vikings do. So,
really? So basically, it's their field.
Yeah, so basically, it's the Gophers field. So I don't know. And like you said earlier, I went on the tour. I go on the tour like once a year. I feel like at Lambeau just to do it, just to get a picture down the field or whatever. And yeah, all the time there's fans of other teams or like Vikings fans or Bears fans that are there for whatever reason and just gonna check it out. And
I think
fan there.
I think if you're a football fan and you're like in Dallas for some reason, I don't think it's crazy to go to see the stadium.
What's up, John?
You doesn't mean to like it. But yeah, so let's talk about that. So the AJ Dillon situation, he was at the soccer game.
Yep.
He wanted, they told him, as far as I understand this, security asked him, "Hey, we're on a rain delay. Will you go down there, jump in the Lambeau, do a Lambeau leap, and try to get the fans rolling? Try to get them, keep them in it because we're on a rain delay." So he goes down and do it. A cop didn't like that idea. Maybe he didn't know who he was. I don't know the situation. Grabbed him. AJ Dillon turned around and said, whatever he said. I assume I was told to come down here.
You doing, bro?
I play for the Packers. Dude, my problem isn't that he grabbed me, because if he didn't know who he was, and you can't have people just running and jumping into the fans or whatever.
Right.
I assume he knew who he was, because not anyone can just get on the field. I don't think that and he was wearing a jersey of whatever, one of the soccer teams. Anyways, like after he talked to him and he was like, "Oh, okay, I know who you are." Then he gave him that shove. I didn't think it was right. But Agreed. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
I was definitely shocked when I saw that video. I was like, that is not okay that's not okay. So like you said, AJ said he got escorted by security to get down to the field. Obviously that guy didn't know about it. Like grabbed him by the jersey. It looked like he like almost ripped the neck.
Yeah.
And at least stretched it out so bad to where like every time AJ sees that jersey, it's like, oh yeah, shit, I got mistreated by this guy.
Dragged.
You might as well just freaking throw it away at this point. And then my favorite part though, but yeah, before I get there, the shove was so wrong.
Yeah, like unnecessary.
They were chatting like, "Hey, I'm AJ Dillon. I'm gonna Lambeau leap." Well, I feel like he was like, "Well, fine then, like do it."
Yeah, and that's kind of like, that's kind of how I thought. Where he's like, "Fine," and he kind of pushed him, and that's totally. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that people should go and like burn his house down or anything, but I think that he was wrong. Like that's what I'll say. Like if someone's wrong, it's okay to say that person is wrong. No. And that was not right. Even if it was a fan, even if it was some there's no reason to just shove people in the back. Anyways, we're gonna move on and go on to some more positivity.
One last thing, my favorite part was when that guy gets smoked in the head by a drink from somebody in the fans.
Oh yeah, he took one to the face, didn't he? And you could barely see it. And it was raining, so he didn't care because it was like he didn't get wet. He was already soaked, and that's probably why he was a little irritable. He's like, "Yo, what am I doing? I'm at this, this game. Doesn't care about probably, it's downpouring, and he just got to make sure fans don't jump on the field." And then,
oh my gosh, John, Rob, can I send you a Bears jersey? You sure can, John.
Don't send me one. Unless you want to see a video of me burning the thing. I would if someone sent me a Bears jersey, I would burn it. And I would do it on video because I need content. But I would have no reason. Unless it was like if HaHa Clinton Dick sent me a jersey, then it'd be all right. Because I have a Washington jersey of HaHa. I have a Packer one autograph. I don't have it up behind me because I moved the office and I didn't bring it in yet. But like if there was a reason to have it, but there's like not many reasons. If someone sent me one, I'd appreciate it. But I would tell them beforehand, don't send me one because I'm gonna burn it, and that's rude.
I would say if you run out of toilet paper, you can always use for that or fire starter.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Outdoor rug,
Look,
something like that.
look in the back, and they'll be like, "Why does that jersey have a big crap stain on it?" But so let's
Oh,
talk
shoot.
about this. All right. So Aaron
Is it-
Rodgers showed up today, looking like Nicolas Cage.
So that-
I don't have the picture up here. I throw it up here, but I saw like mostly positive vibes. You know,
I
first
did.
of all, it was a video of Aaron Rodgers walking from his car to the building
That's stuff.
for training camp. It wasn't like because I tell people like, oh, he just wants attention. Like he literally, first of all, he does that most I think years where he has like kind
I
of
think
theme
he
member
does it for
who's
the
dressed like
team
a
more than he does anybody
cowboy.
else, you know?
Yeah, it was like a cowboy thing because I think that year, one of the years it was in Dallas. I forget, like he has different like time, but he has fun with it. That's how people complain, like, oh, you should worry about the playoffs more than he worries about dressing up. It's like,
It's fucking.
and then
end of
I
July.
argue with someone,
Like-
and then they said, well, he should have made a video with the team then. I'm like, yo, that was a video of him walking from his car to work.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah, like he's
Well,
wearing, like
well,
obviously got the
my
hair. Yeah, watch your mouth, Rob.
My bad. My
But
bad.
like, it irritates me like when people don't think football players should have fun. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you need to, dude, it's not even August yet, bro. All he did was walk from his car in a tank top, and he was trying to be the Nicolas Cage from Con Air, which is a great movie. So let me ask you this: what's the best Nicolas Cage movie? This is one of the questions.
Well, I haven't seen a ton of Nicolas Cage movies, but I've always loved National Treasure. Like I like history.
Yeah.
So like conspiracy stuff like that always is interesting to me. So I always liked that series of movies.
That's a solid movie.
I don't know if you have a favorite one or if you like that series too. What are you thinking?
My favorite, I don't know. It would be that or Con Air. And
Okay.
mostly Con Air because I haven't seen it so long. And my son actually was talking about this. I think he saw it on Netflix or whatever and didn't watch it, but saw the thing. And then he was like explaining the movie because he was comparing it to like Snakes on a Plane.
Oh yeah.
But Con Air was a class. Like when I was a kid, like we'd always have like a lot of people in our house like watching movies. I remember watching that, and yeah, that scene like when his hair's blowing away, and that serial killer guy like after the plane, you know, they're all just like walking about, and you're like, there's like wild scenes in that movie. It's a good movie.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I've never seen Con Air.
You should see it. It's a solid movie. Anyways,
you're so funny. You were like telling me about scenes and stuff, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, yeah.
dude, there's a serial killer in that movie, right? And he's tied up. Like they're on a plane, right? A bunch of convicts are moving him, and he's on a plane and he's strapped in from his arms, his legs. They have a thing over his face. He's like in his own little cage. So he's like next level serial killer. Like this is like the worst human on earth. And then like the plane, like there's a whole, I don't want to give it away. Spoiler alert. The plane, when it goes down, they're like sitting at a park and this dude just like walking around. There's like a kid over there, if I remember right, swinging on the swings. There's a whole situation. Anyways.
I'm going to check it out.
You should. Let's move on to some.
I've never seen it, but I immediately got the reference, which is weird, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to try. Okay. This is a good one from Alex. Alex Hayden asks expectations for Amari Rodgers. What do you got?
Dude, I'm pumped for Amari, mainly because it seems like I saw him tweet the other day about he lost a little weight, got a little quicker, looks like. I'm just pumped for him because last year he got through on the special teams, and yeah, he wasn't good back there. But it's not like he got any opportunities in the offense, so that was kind of the only thing we knew him for, you know? And I don't know. I think he's going to play a bigger role this year than what most of us are expecting. At least I'm hoping so, because I'm just rooting for him personally, because I'm sure he always cuts off the replies to his tweets and stuff and that kind of stuff, which is like sad to see because that he's got some pretty nasty ones. So like, which sucks. I mean, rookie receivers outside of Jefferson and Jamar Chase, it's like they almost never do a whole lot.
They usually rarely pop off the first year.
You know? Yeah. And we had Devontae, we had, other guys, and what do you expect for him to go off? It's like
he wasn't going to get those opportunities last year.
Right. I'm hoping this year he bounces back. It looks like he's got positive mindset. He's been working hard, and I mean, how can you not root for him?
Yeah, I think last year, like you say, he was put in a situation, and it is what it is. Like he wasn't all that successful. Didn't get a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities on the field, and maybe because there was a trust issue. I don't know why. But he
Yeah.
was on special teams, and he made some mistakes. But I think going into his second year, that I seen a post I'm talking about, like he put on some weight or he lost weight or whatever it
Yeah.
was. Like he's in better shape either way.
Yep.
And I think his second year, he's going to get more opportunities. He's going to get more opportunities, like talking with Rodgers. Like you don't know how many
Yeah.
opportunities these young guys get, especially when you have a Devontae Adams, because obviously they know what they're doing with that offense when you have
Right.
Devontae Adams. But now they don't, so now they're going to try to bring people in, make it like, spread the ball around. I
Yes,
assume
sir.
they're going to give him more opportunities, put him in better position to be successful, and a
Yep.
year under his belt, learning from Devontae, watching everything, just going through it himself, going through the practices, going through the things. I think I have high hopes for him. I'm not saying he's gonna blow up and be Devontae Adams, because
Right.
that's like, I feel like everyone thinks like I made a video talking about Sammy Watkins saying he's gonna have a good year. Like he's not gonna be no Devontae. I'm like, yeah, I didn't say that, bro.
It's like, well, obviously,
Calm
Devontae's the
down.
best receiver in the league. Like,
Yeah, like dude,
nobody
you're
leaves
not gonna
Devontae.
replace Devontae Adams.
Like,
That is
we might
never.
never
That's not.
see.
They'll probably never. The
I was
Packers
gonna
might
say,
never have
have a receiver that good ever again.
yeah, and especially
We are
not for
like
like the next 10 years or whatever, or maybe
20
more.
years.
Like you don't know. It might never happen.
Like
Uh,
some people say he's the best, receiver in Packers history, which I don't think he is. I think that goes.
yeah, I think
but,
people need to pump the brakes on that.
but like
Uh,
he's one of. So it's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
He's a great, like we'll see what he does this year to like to cement his legacy and his Hall of
Yeah.
Fame ship and all that stuff.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, I think Amari Rodgers is gonna do okay. We gotta go best quick trip, drink and snack combo. What's your best quick trip, drink and snack combo? Like if you had to go into quick trip and just
Mhm.
grab a snack, drink real quick one time,
Yep.
what are you grabbing?
Every time. So down here in Iowa, it's called Quick Star, which is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Same exact thing, obviously. Every time I go in there, if the barbecue McRib sandwiches, they're usually $2.69, I believe, or $2.99. But if they're on sale for $1.99, I'm grabbing 3 of those and some chocolate milk.
The chocolate milk. I'll say macaroni and cheese and chocolate milk. The chocolate milk is
chocolate
next
milk
level, ridiculous.
is
It's like one of a
insane.
kind.
And I always
Yeah.
get the bigger one. I always get the bigger one too, because it's not a half gallon, but it's not, it's big enough yet small to where you can drink it all in one sitting and then feel sick because I'm lactose
Oh yeah, if you
intolerant.
drink it all at one time, dude, you feel like a pregnant lady. Like,
Oh my gosh, I'm lactose intolerant. So but I still always eat. I don't drink as much milk or eat as much ice cream anymore like I used to, but I absolutely love milk. Like a glass of white 2% or whole milk, I'll drink every single day if I could, or even like cheese on pizza. Like that stuff sometimes bothers my stomach a little bit. Just as,
bothers your stomach is like a
Yeah.
nice way of saying there's a bathroom situation. There's a bathroom situation.
like
We're
when
gonna
I
clean it up though.
I'm telling you, like when I drink a chocolate malt, like it goes in the same way it comes out. Let's just say that.
So let me ask you this. All right, no,
Yeah.
let's talk about this. Moving back on to football stuff. I actually I just saw this today and then I forgot about it, but during the offseason, Matt LaFleur and Goody got an extension. Is that correct? Both
Yes,
of them,
sir.
right?
Yeah, and Russ Ball, yeah.
Yeah. I thought there was one more. That's what I was saying. But so yeah, I think that's huge news that kind of just got quietly reported. But I'm all for it. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm all for it, dude. I feel like the job Goody did to bring Rodgers back and
Oh, yeah.
kind of mend that relationship. I mean, we all know to a point what type of person Rodgers is and kind of his personality. I think he's a great guy. He has opinions that he most otherwise keeps to himself unless he's asked about them. And I don't know. I feel like to get him to come back and mend the relationship had to take a lot of work and a lot of humility.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like
I
that's
think
what.
by both sides, it really did. Both ego. I wouldn't say egos, but like
Yep, egos kind of put them aside, and they both like, I feel like they both have pretty strong, not egos, but like just kind of not I'm right, you're wrong, but like, hey, they were both kind of right, and they were, they're both kind of right. Aaron Rodgers is kind of right, for saying the things he did, and not that Goody did a ton of things wrong, but I get why Rodgers felt slighted. And then for him to come back, I feel like Goody did a heck of a job. And then he goes out and trades for Devondre, trades for Preston and Zadarius and Amos, gets Razul, signs Devondre. My bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Signs Razul. Like he's done a damn good job. So I'm glad they got extended. I love Coach LaFleur. I've been a fan of his since day one. I got to meet him on OTAs. He signed a little mini helmet for me, so super cool. I don't know. I love that trio. And then Russ Ball. I mean, you saw the magician acts that he was doing this offseason.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up and see if he'll help me with my bills. But yeah, like Russ Ball, he just gets it done. But like, Matt LaFleur, I think is a great head coach. I think he's made some mistakes. Yeah. But like I think his play calling. I think this year people are really gonna see him get more crafty because it doesn't need to be so simple. Now he can try different stuff.
Yeah, pick up real quick. Real quick. I think Michael Larson made an error in his comment. He said giving a 38-year-old QB $50 million. I think what he meant to say was giving the back-to-back MVP $50 million. I think that's what he meant to say. Sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
So like first of all, a lot of these comments that you see on here, there's a bunch of Bears and Viking fans because they just love to watch my stuff. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in. But
I dislike them personally.
Dude, first of all,
like their team.
Yeah. And the thing is, what I see from all these people is the same thing. Aaron Rodgers is a jerk. Aaron Rodgers is a diva. Like, no, he's not. Yeah. Because he's finally speaking up. Because he finally, in the last couple of years, started talking. First of all, he's just having fun. So, like, Brady can do whatever he wants. And I like Brady. I find Brady highly entertaining, especially in the offseason. There's videos and stuff. I got no hate for Brady. But, like, he does stuff. He doesn't get nothing for it. Like, Brady can just, like, straight up scream at his offensive line, like, throw his helmet, and everyone's like, it's fine. Which I think it is fine because that's part of the game.
I think it is too, yeah.
Yeah,
Rodgers does anything near like that.
Dude, if Rodgers takes his chin strap off and looks at like Lazard, people are like, oh my goodness. You see the way he looked at him? And like his whole diva thing, because he walked to his car to the building with a tank top on, having a little good time.
He's having a good time with the players. Like he does that for the teammates, I feel like,
Yeah, I think that when you're having a good time, like I said, is when the Packers defense first started popping up and they were getting a turnover, whatever, big stop on fourth down, they'd run down to the other side of the end zone, do like a little fake picture thing. They'd all flex and have a good time. When your defense is doing that, I always say that means they're confident. That means that they're making plays. That means they're conclusive. They're all having a good time together. The same thing with Rodgers. Like when he's doing these things, that means he's happy. He's having a good time. He likes going to work. He likes doing what he's doing. Like, if you want like a quiet quarterback who's just going to say like all the right things, because Aaron Rodgers used to do that. He used to do all the right things. He wouldn't talk, wouldn't say anything. And now he's, he says,
the honesty. He's saying some stuff. But he's being real, yeah, he's saying stuff. That's for sure. I always watch his press conferences and I always watch everything he's on. I don't know him at all, but from the sense that I get from his conferences and from his pressers and from the Pat McAfee show, I feel like he's a pretty cool dude. And I feel like everybody who watches Pat McAfee show, Packer fan or not, think he's a cool dude too. So I don't understand where the hate comes from other than they dislike him.
Jealousy. First of all, jealousy. Like if you look in the comments right now, all the hate for Aaron Rodgers is Bears and Viking fans because they're jealous. I love it. Like it's funny when Bears and Viking fans try to talk to me about a Hall of Fame quarterback. Because they don't know what that's like. I mean, the Vikings had Fran Tarkenton. I assume he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but that is what's even funnier to me because they talk about how we wasted Rodgers and Favre's career. Well, you wasted that dude's career. And so many other players.
Oh wait, no, they didn't.
They did not. They like
How sad is that?
The Vikings and their Super Bowl record is kind of like like going on a date and like just getting stood up. That's kind of what happened. Like they went to the game, but they always were in the locker room when that confetti was coming down.
Yeah.
Like
That's the thing is like, can you imagine? Like, I think it would be awful. Like I was 3 years old when the Packers lost the Super Bowl to the Broncos, so I don't remember. But I cannot imagine making the Super Bowl, having a great year, and then losing in the Super Bowl. That would be worse to me than losing in the first round of the playoffs because you're right there.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's get to this comment real quick.
Let's see it.
This one right here. I get this a lot. Rex Grossman has as many NFC championships as Rodgers.
I like it.
And Aaron Rodgers, by himself, has the same amount of Super Bowls as the Chicago Bears. I hear this all the time. Bears fans bringing up Rex. Really? You want to bring up Rex Grossman? What happened in that Super Bowl? What happened? Bro,
Hey, it
Rex
started
Grossman
good.
is
It
like
started good.
he might be the trashiest quarterback to ever play in a Super Bowl. And they want to brag because they know that defense was legit that year, and they still couldn't get it done. Peyton Manning wiped his ass with you, bro.
And they even got a hot start, too. I remember watching that. I was young. I had a lot of Bears fans.
Dude, the Bears had a kick return for a touchdown. And I always say, when you have a kick return for a touchdown or a punt return for a touchdown, that's a free touchdown. Like, that's just like the frosting on the cake.
Yes,
so, like,
sir.
you were given. It was like a free touchdown. I mean, Devin Hester deserved it. It was all skill. But, like, that's a free touchdown. When you have a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown, it's a free touchdown. And you still lost that game. The Bears are a joke, bro. Haven't done anything. Like, the Aaron Rodgers is your daddy. Like, it's even boring to say. It's kind of like playing, like, a 10-year-old in basketball and winning and flexing about it. That's how I feel about bragging about the Packers being better than the Bears. Because the Bears are trash, bro. It's like, oh, the Bears fans, hey, much love, John. Ain't no hate for you, but your team is trash, bro. We're having a good time. We're having a good time.
Hey, we're having a great time. That's what 30 years of domination will do, though. I mean, they had the lead for so long, and looks like we're going to take over the all-time wins record here after week 2. So they got one more win than us all time after they lose to the 49ers, and then we beat them week 2. I think we're going to take that over, and we're never going to look back.
Yeah, I think so. Dude, I get Michael Larson over here. Matt's so mad. Not your fault your quarterback is a fraud. I ain't mad, bro. I'm actually kind of drunk. I'm having a good time. And I'm on vacation. So, like, when I'm done doing this, I'm going to drink some more and have a really good time. You know what I mean?
We got training
I'm
camp
on vacation.
Like, come on now.
I don't even know who's trashier, the Bears or the Vikings. Like, right now, the Bears are a worse team.
Yeah.
The Bears are the worst team. But, like, I still put the Vikings as trashier because, like, the Bears, I respect them.
I just feel bad for them a little bit.
Oh, yeah. They're like, their whole stadium issue the Bears are having.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine.
Dude, like, they want to put a dome on Soldier Field. You're going to be like the Vikings. They basically play in an opera house. Birds are running into that thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big arena. When you put a dome on something, it's barely a football field. And I get it in the South. I have no problem with it because like that's just how it always is. And it's like 1,000 degrees. You know, players are gonna start dying if they're playing in
Tampa's open
degrees. You know, throw the air on. I'm all for it. But like in the Midwest, I don't think any team should be playing in a dome in the Midwest.
Grow up here, play the football where it's supposed to be played outside. Come on.
Yeah.
Like
I'm all good. Like if the Packers never get a Super Bowl at Lambeau Field because they don't have a dome, then so be it. You do not put. I've heard people talk about they should put a dome on Lambeau Field. Like, bro, if they put a dome on Lambeau Field, I think I would probably just stop. I would be like, I'm done. I'm out. Like whatever the reason,
they'll never put a dome on Lambeau Field.
It would never. It would never be possible. It would
Just
never.
Like it's never going to be
possible. That's why I'm saying like I would be out because, and I wouldn't because being a real fan. I'm not saying a real fan, but like when you're a fan of whatever team you're a fan of, it's not a choice. Like no one chooses to be a Browns fan. It's like it's in you, and that's just. And unless you're like 10, you can bounce around for a couple years. But once you have your team, like there's no choice. Like I didn't choose to be a Packer. My mom chose because like the family's a Packer fan, you going to be or you can be living outside. You know what I mean?
That's how it was. John says it's all about landing the Super Bowl revenue. Well, if you just saw the Packers revenue statements past couple days, they're kicking ass. So
yeah, they're doing all right.
no
We're
Super Bowl
having a good
either.
time.
Yeah,
All
that's how it
we're
works.
already an hour here, so I'm gonna.
No, we're good.
So-
Close it down, my man. All you.
But let me ask you one last question.
Let's do it.
David Bakhtiari. All right, I don't know the situation. Like obviously he's on
The pup list,
yeah, the pup list. Oh, puppy list. It sounds
The
better
pup
than it
list.
actually is.
Yes, sir.
Because everyone likes puppies. No one likes a pup list.
Mhm.
But do you think that there's a concern? Like obviously that I for me, like there's low concern, but do you think that he is set back, or are they just like, hey, let's use this spot. We don't want him on the practice field right now anyways. So let's just use this extra spot on something else. And because they said they expect him to be out there.
Right.
I think they said, didn't they say that? I don't want to lie.
Yeah, I saw I saw Diana Rossini say he was expected. David was expected to be ready for training camp. Then he had a setback in rehab. Like I'm not concerned. I'm concerned for sure, but like not to the point where I'm like, oh, his career's over. This year's what a waste. What a bad contract. It's like, how do people complain about his contract? He didn't plan to tear his ACL. Like
Yeah.
he signed the contract because he was the best left tackle in football, and we needed him. Clearly, you saw the need for him when we lost him right before the NFC Championship game, and the following year. Like it's not his fault. Like, and people are trying to blame him and say cut him and all this stuff. It's like, no, it's not. Like it's just a super unfortunate, super unfortunate situation that we're used to super unfortunate situations. So honestly, I'm not sure why people are surprised. Like,
yeah, I think that. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I will get concerned. Obviously, if he doesn't start week 1, then I'll be super concerned. But I don't know. Maybe the Packers just want to see. They want to see for themselves. Like, is he ready to go before we give him the full clear? I mean, I don't know. That's my hope, at least.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he's not ready to go for a week 1, or even if we don't see him in any preseason, like where the other starters are in, I would be. I'll start being concerned. But
right,
I would think that like this is a year. I mean, like it's been a minute since he's been on the field. So like, so like if you don't see him out on the field week 1, like
it could be time to
panic. That's a problem. Yeah. And one other thing before we go, Robert Tonyan, they say he's going to be good to go for week 1, or at least that's what, like it was leaked out. Like they plan on. I don't know if anyone confirmed or whatever, but it was kind of like someone was saying like they expect him to be there week 1. If Robert Tonyan is good to go and is 100%, like it's going to get that's huge for the Packers.
Yeah, I completely agree. Another pass catcher, another guy who Rodgers already has trust in. So I don't know. I think if Tonyan comes back, we'll be in a lot better shape than I think what most people are expecting. I think a little more balanced attack. You got AJ Dillon in year 3. So I don't know, man. I'm excited for this offense. And as equally, I'm excited for the defense just because I have a lot of confidence that they're going to be super good. So,
yeah, I'm jacked up for this year. Special teams is going to be better, and it might be insanely better because obviously they're going to be better. That can't be worse. Right. They got a new guy, new coach, but I think that they could be insanely better. The offense, I would assume, is going to be like I wouldn't say that they're going to be better, but I don't think that they're going to be like crazy worse. I think they're going to mix the ball around. They got 2 great running backs. They can get creative, keep this thing rolling, especially having a better defense than they had even last year. Coming back, I think that's going to help
some more turnovers, giving them more opportunities.
Yeah.
If they get more turnovers and give the offense more opportunities, maybe, that little level that we've gone down as far as the offense overall, like with those extra opportunities, maybe, that could make up some of that gap and we won't really notice a whole lot. But like I said earlier, those crunch downs, 3rd and 12, when we need to get it, we need to go to that guy. I understand Cobb's, they have that repertoire and Lazard, they could build that, but they're, like you said earlier, there's no replacing Devontae Adams. And there's going to be times where we're going to see that and feel it, but I don't think it's going to be, a shattering effect on our offense overall. I don't know if you feel the same way.
No, I don't think it's going to be shattering because, like, I don't know.
He's one guy. There's 11 guys out there.
It's not just Devontae, like MVS. A lot of people like to clown on him, but he could just, like, get open and get down there all times. He wasn't always catching it.
Yeah, but, just like that one play against the Vikings, that 70-yarder, that 80-yarder, 75-yarder. That was badass. At the end of the game, I was like, "Damn, we're down by 7. Dang, we're down by 7." Apologize for swearing on here. Sometimes I get a little carried away.
No, that word ain't too bad.
No,
I've had Tom Crabtree on here cussing up a storm.
Hey, now I know. Now I know. Quick trip. Apologies. So no, I'm not too worried. I'm excited more than anything. I'm glad it's almost here. So
yeah, I'm jacked up for this football season, and
yes, sir,
I will be. Oh wait, what do you got?
Yes, and yes, sir, baby.
All right, so this, like right now, I haven't done a lot of lives throughout this offseason, but we back, baby.
We back.
Every week I'll be doing live stuff. I'll be down training camp doing some live stuff, doing interviews with with Packer fans. Players are a little busy. But we're gonna have a good time. This season is just about underway. I'm jacked up for it. We're gonna have a good time. Tonight I'm gonna drink some beer. And if you're just tuning in and you want to watch the full thing, you can watch replay on my YouTube and on my Facebook. And I'll also have it on the podcast, The Matt Ramage Show, on Spotify, Apple, all the places that you listen to Packer stuff. And also, you can check out MattRamageShow.com for all the links to other places I'm at. My store's over there. Oh, that's different. The wrong one. Anyways, go Pack, go people. Thanks for tuning in. And big shout out. Okay, Rob, first of all, before we head out of here, where do people find you? Green Bay Packer Daily, where are you at?
GBP Daily, at GBP Daily on all social platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hit me up, chat some Packers, shoot me a DM. I'm always down to chit chat some Packers. So my personal is Rob Westerman 3 on Twitter. So yeah, that's it.
There we go. There we go. Go Pack, go people. Thanks for tuning in.